Alright, we are all here for the same exact reason, so let's just get into it. First thing, you know what it is, like and subscribe for the one time, like and subscribe for your boy. But alright, come on. For real this time. First thing that needs to happen is, please Madden, you need to revamp the tackling system. Make it like Backbreaker and NHL, like all of us want. Realism, collisions, and hits, and it'll just make the game smoother, or like NCAA 14, like momentum based hits. It'll just make the game feel smoother, it'll make it look smoother. And yeah, second, please eliminate magnet tackling. It's so bad. I swear I'll be running through an open gap and then just Fred Warner comes out of nowhere and rocks my running back. Second, why did Madden get rid of player franchise mode? They're trying to force feed us into that superstar mode that is just not fun, and to put it mildly, they're trying to force us to buy stuff. The gear, they're trying to force us to grind to get gear. Like, what? Give us back franchise career mode as a player and stop trying to force feed us into new modes, especially when that new mode is not good. Third, I think that player morale should have a bigger impact on your team and on them, to be fair. This is kind of controversial, but I think that if a player has bad morale, that them holding out isn't a bad idea, or them demanding a trade isn't a bad idea. And I think it should stop your sim and tell you that they're demanding a trade, because it happens in real life. Like, for example, George Pickens, he wanted to be traded. Me as a Steelers fan, I didn't like that. Mike Tomlin, the Steelers coach, didn't like that. Omar Khan didn't like that. But it's part of the game. You know what I mean? It's part of the game. I think that there should also be more of an emphasis on draft scouting and a better combine system. I think that you should be able to not necessarily be at the combine, but like, I don't know. I feel like it's just such an overlooked part. Like the scouting and the franchise mode as a coach, I feel like it's just such an overlooked part. I think that EA needs to stop trying to force feed us into buying stuff for Ultimate Team. I think that Ultimate Team is the biggest scam there is. It is just a money hog. I think that you should be able to create your own expansion team into the NFL. They're one of the only EA games where you cannot add an expansion team. There should be an expansion draft, just like NBA 2K's, where you get to protect a certain amount of people, and yeah, so you expansion draft. Like the weather impacts, I'm all for. I do think that there should be a footing overall though, and that veterans should have a higher overall because they're more prone, or they're more used to the snow than rookies. But again, that's just my thing. I do like that there are real life coaching tendencies in game planning. I think that is a very good thing to have. Although the tush push is going to be very, very annoying to go against. I do like the wear and tear system. I think that college football did that right. I do think you get hurt a little too fast for my liking, but I mean, football, it takes a toll on your body, and I think that they did a good job with that. I also think this is more than 5, but Madden needs to, step it up. I do think that momentum and home field advantage should be more of a factor. Do I think it should disrupt your entire flow? No, but like in college football, the route shake, that's harder to hot route, it's harder to do anything, and you feel a sense of, I don't know, like a sense of accomplishment when you finally get your quarterback to chill out. I think that there need to be more animations feel like we've been seeing the same animation since Madden 20, maybe even earlier. I think there should be more signature animations. I think that in Madden, you should be able to start as an offensive coordinator for a team, because it is very unlikely that you're just a no-name and that you come in as a head coaching role. I think that starting as an offensive coordinator would add a different element, because it's never been done before. It would just get like a refresh, you know what I mean? And you would be able to work up all the way to a head coach, into a head coaching job, onto college football. I think that, well, first, let's go with the obvious one. Bring back high school. It can be short, but bring back high school. It was one of the best things, because you could play one high school game and send the rest, so you only have like 2 offers. You'd be like a 2-star recruit, and you would be able to work your way all the way up. Or you could play all the college games or the high school games and the high school playoffs and become the number 1 recruit in the nation and start pretty much right away. So the basic out of the way, obviously that needs to come back. It was an outrage when we realized we weren't getting that in college football 25. Alright, second, there needs to be a rework of the transfer portal. I know it's hard, like coding wise, but you shouldn't, if you're a 5-star in college football 25 and you transfer, you're still a 5-star. That's just not how it works in real life. Like it's just not. Like at all. I think that there should be more CPU halftime adjustments. I think that would be fun, because it would make it harder on the human to beat the AI. And sometimes I feel like the AI lacks like skill, and it's just kind of easy to beat them sometimes, especially like even when you get to Heisman, you just start finding the trend and stuff. And yeah, there should be a wider playbook. You should be able to build custom formations and blocking schemes and route trees at the line. I know you can, but they should expand it a little bit more. I think this is kind of also a pretty basic one, but I think that they should include the top FCS schools and the top JUCO schools, because I feel like that would be very, very fun. And I mean, I know they can do it, because look how many teams MLB The Show has. I know they can do it. I know that they can put time in. And yeah, they don't even have to include all of them. They can just include the top one. Because kind of like what I was talking about in Madden with starting as an offensive coordinator. Imagine starting as an offensive coordinator at an FCS school and then working your way all the way up to an FBS school. I just think that that's like a cool feature that they should have. This is another kind of big one. You should be able to create your own stadium. I don't know why you had to use an active stadium. I know that like MLB people and NBA, to be fair, they put inappropriate things on the court, but I think that they should just do it. Like, there's a way to censor it. I know there is. And yeah, I think that they should also put more of an emphasis on online head-to-head. There should be a ladder. There should be ranks. There should be all that stuff. And I know that there are, but there should be more, you know what I mean? And I have to reiterate stuff that is already in college football 25, because the game was very good in my opinion. And there should be cross-play, online play. That is one of the bigger ones in my opinion. But yeah, I also think, last but not least, I think that you should be able to play as historic teams, go through historic seasons. You know, it would just, like, imagine that in online play. Like, you could be 2019 LSU and go against 2005 USC, like 2 of the best teams of all time. Like, that would just be very, very fun. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think there should be I know I said last but not least, but this is the last one. I think there should be a wider TV broadcast presentation. I feel like that would be very, very nice, like an ESPN, CBS, Fox style. There should be announcer storylines, and yeah, But yeah, let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. I would love to see your guys' suggestions. I'll make a part 2. But yeah, hope you liked the video. Enjoy, subscribe. I'm gonna leave this in real quick because the ending of this game was absolutely crazy. I'm gonna let y'all enjoy. I'm trying to rebuild a expansion team in 2K20. So yeah, but yeah, enjoy, subscribe.